ever going to vote against their own self-interest. Not a lot of these rich people. Bernie, thank you. Great to see you as always tonight.
Thank you. Thank you.
After President Trump heralded the new jobs numbers in the Rose Garden today, the media engaged in such a disgusting, perpetual smear job that we felt that it was our duty to call it out and the perpetrators. The claim was best summarized by Bloomberg News reporter Eric Wasson. He said Trump says he hopes George Floyd is looking down from heaven and happy about the strong jobs numbers. Well, that is a lie. And that lie spread like wildfire among more prominent members like CNN's Jake Tapper and the New York Times' Peter Baker. It even made its way onto the cable airwaves. On MSNBC, Michael Steele, former RNC chair, that's embarrassing, called Trump's comments borderline blasphemous. Now, if the president had actually said what those media members were alleging, then his comments would be out of place, and I'd call them out. But since we won't lie to you, here's what Trump said in its entirety.
Equal justice under the law must mean that every American receives equal treatment in every encounter with law enforcement, regardless of race, color, gender, or creed. They have to receive fair treatment from law enforcement. They have to receive it. We all saw what happened last week. We can't let that happen. Hopefully George is looking down right now and saying there's a great thing that's happening for our country. There's a great day for him. It's a great day for everybody. This is a great day for everybody. This is a great, great day in terms of equality. It's really what our Constitution requires, and it's what our country is all about.
He's talking about equal protection under the law, regardless of race. Joining me now, Charlie Hurt, Washington Times opinion editor, former New York Post White House correspondent, Fox News contributor. Charlie, did you hear the jobs report mentioned in there? How do the media figures who I called out justify the blatant dishonesty and what they did? I'm mad about this.
It's not even a distortion of what he said, because they're always distorting what he says. This is a flat-out lie. He didn't. They're making up something that he simply did not say. If you listen to his actual words, he's giving a shout-out. He's applauding the peaceful protesters who are protesting the treatment of George Floyd. That is entirely different, 100% completely factually different from what people are claiming he said. But if you stop and think about it, and you go back to the beginning of just this year, this guy has been through an impeachment which was entirely made up of lies, and then all of the stuff before the impeachment was made up of lies. The guy's been through a pandemic. He's been going through riots right now, and the good news, the stunningly good economic news that came out today, I think has a lot of these people in vapors. I think that they've got nothing left to do but to make up things about Donald Trump. And between now and the election, Laura, we're going to be listening to exactly this sort of thing, where these guys come unhinged and make stuff up every single day.
Yeah, I mean, Charlie, they thought the Mueller investigation was going to save them. Then they thought impeachment was going to save them. Then they thought the virus was going to save them. Now they think the protests and the riots are going to save them. And I think each time they're like, wait a second, this guy's really resilient. And I think they're freaking out about it. I think they're absolutely freaking out. And it's going to get worse. I completely agree with you. Now, the media's lies, they have real political consequences. Here was Biden.
Toward the end of his remarks, President Trump said he hopes that, quote, George Floyd is looking down and seeing this is a great day for our country. For the president to try to put any other words in the mouths of George Floyd, I frankly think is despicable.
Charlie, your reaction?
I mean, with a media like this, you kind of wonder, well, what else do you expect? But what you said in your angle is exactly right about this. All of these predictions, it's not only the lies after the fact, it's all of the prognosticating before the fact. From Russia to impeachment to the pandemic to all of it, the predictions have been the most dire predictions. They're fever dreams. They're dreams about anything. And ultimately what it is it's rooting for failure. They not only want Donald Trump to fail, they want America to fail. They would do anything. They will crash any economy. They want the country to burn to the ground.
Burn it all down.
Anything just to blame Donald Trump. And so now that all of these things, all of their predictions aren't coming to fruition, they're left with nothing else but just to lie after the fact. And they're going to keep doing it. And they're going to and you know what? The American voters are very, very cagey, and they're very smart. And even the people, that don't get paid like you and I do to pay attention to all of this all the time, and we live it day to day. They can tell when people are lying, and I don't think it's going to work in this election.
It's never seemly to be rooting against your own country or your own country's demise.
No.
We see that in a lot of the protesters, the activists, the violence, and it's not good. There are good protesters and a lot of bad stuff going on in between. Charlie, thank you so much. And ahead, the call to dismantle or defund the police. Now, it's not some progressive pipe dream. It's now part of the Democrat mainstream. Terry Turchie, who I told you studied domestic insurgencies for years, he's going to tell us how these calls mirror what the Weather Underground had set up years ago. Stay there.